Hello everybody, Monica Bodierski here, artist and author of the Shadowland Tarot and the House of Shadows Lenormand. I hope you had a wonderful week. I had an absolutely astounding week and month. We just finished Witchfest North Arts and Culture Festival, and it was fantastic. So many people came out and helped us celebrate all sorts of different things, workshops about Lenormand cards and tarot and witchy arts and crafts, incredible online art that we shared through our website, and so much more. So thank you so much for coming out, and we're working on our 5th anniversary very shortly, so stay tuned for more exciting stuff. We're keeping this witching thing rolling all year, I think. So today, because we just had a wonderful blue moon last night, which, as you know, I'm sure most of you do, we started this month with a full moon, October 1st, and we ended October 31st with another full moon, which is a blue moon. Doesn't happen often, hence the expression. And a lot of people ask me about my moon cards. They ask about why I've drawn them the way I have, so I thought I'd share a little bit about how I feel about the moon, and both the moon card from the Shadowland and from the Lenormand deck. The moon for me is absolute glory. I adore the energy. I feel very connected to the waxing and waning of moon's energy. I know when it's increasing. I can feel when it's decreasing. I seem to be very in sync with it. I don't see it as necessarily feminine or masculine, and that could be because of having mixed heritage in Northern Europe, Eastern Europe, and having some Celtic in there, and, well, too many cultures to really list right now. But my point being, in some of those cultures, the moon is feminine, and in Norse culture, it is masculine. So I'm going to pick that third gender and say it's both. Okay? And that beautiful energy is something that I like to honor with putting down offerings and just staring up at it, even when it's a very cool, crisp night, as it was last night. I went at it about 11:30 and just looked up at that moon, and I felt a great deal of connection to my ancestry, and to everyone's ancestry in a way, and everybody, because everyone's looking at the moon. And the moon hasn't changed, and it's steady. And even though we go through intense change, and have a lot lately, the moon is steady. There it is. And it just is such a grounding and such a sacred, beautiful energy. So I have absolute reverence for the moon, and often will collect herbs from our little witch's garden during that full moon energy because they're imbued with that. So, how did I draw the moon in the House of Shadows Lenormand and the Shadowland Tarot? Well, let's look at the Lenormand first. I have this little creature hanging onto the nose of a mask on a moon, way up in the sky. It looks a little uncomfortable. Well, I meant it to be, and that's not because I have negative feelings about the moon. It's just that in the Lenormand deck, it is often about your career aspirations and how well revered you are and respected in your career. You are. This is just a little bit of a shadow reminder that some people can feel a little bit of imposter syndrome, which is why this little creature is hanging off the nose of this mask. The mask is what's representing, oh, did I just get lucky with that? Was it a fluke? Do I deserve that promotion? There's a lot of deservability inherent in that symbolism, which is why I included that. And it isn't always easy to hang on to your reputation in your career. It's so highly competitive. That's another meaning there. Okay? It's also a number 32, which for me, because I always reduce the numbers to single digits, the number 5, which is about change for me. Okay? And in the Shadowland Tarot, which is number 18, right away I'm seeing the number 9 here and thinking of it as very completing of a cycle. You know, we understand the energy of the moon as increasing and decreasing, and that there's a real flow. We also see that there's a little tiny crayfish or lobster. I'm going to go with lobster. It's a bit big for a crayfish because I'm not from the deep south. Here where I am, crayfish are like this big. What does that mean? Well, they apparently hit these growth spurts during the full moon. So that symbolism is in many old Rider-Waite-Smith decks, if you're wondering why. And it's about our own growth during the full moon and with the moon cycles. And you can see this little character is on a journey and walking towards a cabin in the woods with the intention of growth. So on a journey of learning and growth and under the full moon. Now the reason there's a mask on this full moon, gosh, this woman likes masks on full moons, is because that's a wolf, right? It's a bit Little Red Riding Hood here saying, yeah, just be careful. Just be careful on your journey, because you can't always judge everything by moonlight. It can be incredibly hard to see details in moonlight. So withhold your judgment until maybe the light of day. So that isn't because there's anything negative about the moon. It's just a lack of the big picture. And also don't forget, it's cyclic. You know, sometimes those journeys can be very difficult, and other times they can be wonderfully lighthearted. They're not always joyous. We don't always find the things that we want, but certainly what we need. So thank you very much for tuning in again. Please hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying these videos. Leave your comments below. I'll leave any pertinent information and links. And have yourselves an absolutely wonderful upcoming week. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.